Welcome back, everyone. Good day. My name is Mary, like I said earlier, Merit Innocent, and I am the Logistics Operations Executive here at Terminal Africa. And I will be taking us on the documentation process and the required document that is needed while shipping. So without further ado, let's get right into it. What is documentation in logistics? Right. So shipping documents or documentations are the required documents you must provide when sending items from one location to another. This could be records, invoices, forms, certificates, and they may also vary depending on the item being shipped or where it is going. But most shipments require waybills and commercial invoice. Now, commercial invoice, I would like to talk more on commercial invoice because we've seen most cases where customers really make mistakes while booking their shipment, right? Commercial invoice, this document lists out all the items you're shipping, their quantity, and their values. A commercial invoice is similar to standard invoices, but also has details that would accept with clearing customs, e.g. we have item descriptions, quantity, country of origin, HS code, item value, and total weight. So now, why am I talking about commercial invoice? So we have two types of commercial invoice, the itemized invoice and the clustered invoice. The itemized invoice is the acceptable invoice across all courier partners, right? I'll show you an example or a sample of an itemized invoice. The next slide, you see a sample of an itemized invoice. If you zoom closely, you see that all the items here are well itemized. Let's say, for instance, you have 10 items in your package. You have to itemize all of them one after the other, individually with their weight, their quantity, HS code, unit value, and total value. Now, the next slide will show us a clustered invoice that is not acceptable, right? This is a clustered invoice, a sample of a clustered invoice. And if you zoom close, you see that they added all the items together with one HS code. If you drop your package with this kind of an invoice, it will be rejected and you'll be requested to provide a revised invoice, right? So it is very important for us to always itemize our invoice. I'll show you the importance of the commercial invoice when we move forward. Now we talk about the various types of documentation. Now, the first on our list is the textile addendum, right? First off, I'll first say that we have various courier partners on our platform. We have FedEx, we have DHL, we have Anchor, we have UPS, RMX, and also. So all of these carriers have the documents they require while shipping some items. Now I'll start and I'll begin with FedEx. So when shipping clothing item like textile addendum right now, to the US lane alone, you'll be required to provide this document. Let's say you're shipping clothing items and you're shipping it to US. This is restricted to only US, to the US link alone. You'll be required to provide the textile addendum. In this document, you just fill out the airway bill, you fill out the quantity, the kg, that's the weight, then the value. So if you don't itemize your invoice, you won't be able to get all of this information. So it is very important for us to itemize our invoice. I'll take you back to the sample of an itemized invoice, right? This is an itemized invoice. And let's say you're filling your addendum. You need to fill out all of this information. You're filling 18 female clothing or 18 female dresses. You go back to your addendum and you impute 18, the weight. If it's 10 kg, you put it down there. And the total value, if it's $20, you also impute it there. Then the next section takes us to the manufacturer's information. So now FedEx is expecting us to provide the manufacturer's information. That is where the person that manufactured that clothes, their name, the address, the postal code, the country, and also the country and the province, that's the state. If it's in Lagos State, the postal code and whatnot. So after that, the next stage will take us to where we fill in our own information as the shipper. Then you have to put in your name, that's your details, your name, your company name, the address, and the date. So the date you're filling is the day you're filling that form. That's the date you're going to input in this document. You can see that this document is really straightforward. It is not difficult to fill. So you just fill it out, print it out, and attach it to your package. The next document on our list is the wristwatch form. Now, this is a form that is needed when processing wristwatch to the US alone. So most of these documents are required by FedEx, right? FedEx only require this document when you're shipping them to the US alone, not to other countries, only to the US. So this research form is also very easy to fill. It's just for you to tick, right? The reason why we can't fill these forms for customers is because we don't get to see these packages. Your customers bring it to your store or your facility, then you see it, you know the kind of wristwatch they are shipping. It could be a leather watch, it could be iWatch or any kind of watch. You get to see it, so you are in the best position to fill this document for your customers, or you can give them to fill it if they are dropping it immediately at your store. Now, the next document on our list is the shoe form. This is needed when you're processing shoes or you're shipping shoes to the US. It is similar to the wristwatch form. The shoe form is a document relevant for footwear industry. It outlines the specifications, the design elements, and the quantity standard for the production of shoes. Right. It's also very easy. It's a yes or no answer question, yes or no question. Then once you finish filling it, you just attach it to your package. There's a place where you can put in your airway wheel, that is your tracking number, then the signature. Your name can be your signature, or you can also sign on it, and the date. Right. I know you might be wondering where you can get all of these documents, but as we progress, I'll let you know how Terminal makes this easier for customers. Then the next form we have is the drawable form. And this is needed when processing eyeglasses, sunglasses, medicated glasses to the US alone. Like I said before, most of these documents are required by FedEx when shipping to the US lane alone. So if I have any documents that other carriers need, I will let you know, inform us as we progress. But for now, these are documents required by FedEx and when shipping to the US lane alone. So the drop-off form is also very easy to fill. All you need to input is your name, the company name, address, city, zip code, authorized name. That means if this glass has been given to you by a hospital, they will need the authorized name, which is your name, the signature, title, then the Federal Expressway, that's your tracking number, then the date. It is very easy to fill. So all you need to do, fill it, attach it to your package, and take it to the facility. That's the carrier's facility, or you can wait when the carrier's driver comes to your location for pickup. And we have the FDA. The FDA is needed when processing food items, herbs, medical devices to the US lane alone. So now, this is a little bit complex, right? This form, you only fill it online on US websites, and this is needed when you're shipping food items, herbs, and medical devices to the US lane alone by FedEx. And the carrier that always requests for this document is FedEx. So DHL will not require you to provide FDA, but upon request, you can also provide it, right? But FedEx mostly requests for FDA. Right, so we've made it easy by providing a step-to-step guide, which is uploaded on our website on the resources where you can fill out this form. And we also provide a video for customers to use if they want to fill out this form, right? So that's the next document on our list. And after that, we have the quarantine certificate / the phytosanitary certificate, right? This is issued by the Ministry of Agriculture. It is needed when shipping any edible items from Nigeria. Now, when shipping food items to any country whatsoever, be it the US, Canada, Australia, Poland, wherever you're shipping food items to, you'll be required to provide a phytosanitary certificate. So now, DHL requests for phytosanitary, DHL, UPS, Ship to Nigeria, Anchor, all of them request for phytosanitary certificate. Yeah, you can get it on our Paystack storefront, and it comes at a cost also. Well, for FedEx, they require quarantine certificates. And it also comes at a cost. They get it from the Ministry of Agriculture. So let me say this again. If you're shipping food items to any country, you'll be required by the courier partners or carriers to provide either a quarantine certificate for FedEx, then a phytosanitary certificate for other courier partners, be it DHL, UPS, RMX, or any other courier partner. Right, so these documents are very much important. Like I said before, if you're shipping food items to the US, you'll be asked to provide the FDA alongside the quarantine certificate if you're using FedEx. Then if you're shipping food items to any country, be it USA, Canada, you'll be asked to provide the quarantine certificate. Right, then the next document we have here is the museum certificate. This is issued by the National Museum and it is needed when shipping any artwork, paintings, sculptures from Nigeria. Let's say you have a painting done by someone, they drew you, and you want to ship it out to someone, a family or a friend outside the country. You'll be required to provide a museum certificate. How can you get that? You can get that you can get that from any nearby national museum. You can come at court, I don't know. When you get there, you take your package with you, the stuff you need the museum certificate for, the artwork or sculpture you need it for. When you take it there, you ask them that you want to ship out this and they're asking you to provide a certificate, a museum certificate. It might come as a cost, then you pay and get your certificate, attach it to your package, and then move. Then your shipment gets shipped easily with no stress. Then how Terminal makes documentation seamless, right? The way Terminal makes this documentation process seamless is how you can get these documents easily on our platform. We don't tell you something and then you start wondering how you can get it, how you can get these documents. We have made everything very easy for you customers. So when booking an international shipment, mind you, you can get this shipment is required when booking internationally, not local shipments. It's not when you're shipping from Abuja to Lagos and you're requiring to provide a textile addendum or a shoe form. It is needed for international shipments only, right? So when booking an international shipment to the US, put in the correct name, the category, subcategory, HS code for your package. So if you zoom closely, you can see that this package here has the item name, which is black color Nike shoes, the item category footwear, the item subcategory is a sneaker, then the HS code, the weight, quantity, and the item value, right? After imputing that, but before that, you must have filled in your sender's details, the receiver's details before you come to this session, right? So after that, after filling all of this, the next phase takes us to where we can add details there, add the details of all items in your parcel and continue with your booking process. Now, this is where I'll come back to why commercial invoice is very important, why itemizing our invoices are very, very important. Now you have 20 items in your package. You need to add all of those 20 items. Don't leave any one aside. It is very important to keep adding until you're done with all the items in your package. After you're done with adding all the items, then you select a carrier. For instance, you're shipping shoes and clothes and you want to use FedEx and the shipment is going to the US. You already know that you're going to attach some documents to that package. So now this customer picked FedEx as a carrier and is shipping shoes and clothes. So what you do next after you finish, then you review and pay for the shipment. Here you have to review all the things you've done, all the details you've imputed, the sender's details, the receiver. You have to check if everything is correct. And if everything is fine and good, you make your payment. So how do you get all of these documents I've been talking about from the beginning of this session? Now, this is how you get the documents. You will find the regulatory documents attached alongside your invoice and review. Ordinarily, if you finish booking your shipment, you just go direct and download your invoice and your waybill and attach it to your package. So now you're shipping with FedEx and it's going to the US and you're shipping clothes and shoes. You get to see the regulatory document one, that is if it's only clothing item you're shipping. Then you get there, you download it, fill the form and attach it. Then let's say, for instance, you have clothes, shoes, sunglasses, and all of those documents I talked about earlier. You will see up to 5 regulatory documents listed here. All you have to do is just click on it, download the document, fill it, attach it to your package, and then wait for the carrier's driver to come pick up, or you can drop off at the carrier's facility. When booking a shipment on Terminal Africa, you can quickly access all of the shipping documents online, saving you time and money. I hope we've been able to learn 1 or 2 things and the kind of documents we need while we are shipping via Terminal Africa's network. Time for questions. If you have any question, I'm more than willing to answer them.
Hello, good afternoon.
Okay, let's have Zagog Express.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Please, because of I was attending to customers, I didn't follow up the presentation very well. Can it be shared to us so that we can go through it or something?
Of course, yeah, this video is recorded, so send it across. Okay, so I would highlight some things for people that joined late. So I will go back and start with the various documents that is required while shipping. I'll start with our textile identity I said earlier. Right, this is the documents you need while you are shipping clothing items to the US lane alone. You are not required to provide this document if you're shipping to Canada or any other country. This is only for US lane alone. Then the next document we have the wristwatch is also required when you're shipping wristwatches of any kind to the US. The document is very easy to fill, like very straightforward. All you need to input is the description of the description of goods, the tracking number, the value, and every other thing that's been asked on the document. Then the next form is the shoe form. The type of shoe you're shipping. Is it a leather shoe? Is it a sneaker? Whatever shoe you're shipping, you're in the best position to fill this form because you get to see the item. We are not seeing it, so that's why we can't fill. That's why we're having this session so that we can educate you on the kind of documents you need and how you go about them. And then the next document on our list is the drop off form, and it is required when processing sunglasses, medicated glasses to the US lane alone. Then the next we have FDA. This is the Food and Drug Administration, the US Food and Drug Administration, and it's needed when processing food items, herbs, medical devices to the US alone. Then next we have the phytosanitary certificate or the quarantine certificate that is issued by the Ministry of Agriculture, and this is needed when you're shipping any edible items from Nigeria to the destination country. So when you're shipping food items to whatever country, be it Australia, Canada, US, anywhere, you need to provide a phytosanitary certificate for other carriers. But for FedEx, you need to provide the quarantine certificate. Then the museum certificate, this is needed when you're shipping artwork, painting, or sculptures to any country. And it is required by all carriers, DHL, FedEx, UPS, Anchor, Ship to Nigeria, whichever platform you want to use. When you're shipping artwork or paintings, you need to provide the museum certificate. How you can get, how Terminal makes this document seamless for you. This is telling you how you can get it, how you can get this document on our platform. So after when you're booking your shipment, you've ordered the sender's details and the receiver's details. The next thing is to add your item. And all of these documents are required when you're shipping internationally, not a local shipment. It's required when you're shipping internationally. So after adding all of the items, be it shoes, clothes, food items, that's for FedEx again, be it shoe, clothes, wristwatch, sunglasses. After adding all of the item, then you um after adding all of the items, then you make your payments. You review your document. You choose a carrier first. You select a carrier. After selecting the carrier, then you review all your details and then make payments. Then here, where you review your shipment, this is where you go through everything to make sure that there are no mistakes in terms of the addresses, the sender address, the receiver, or whatnot. You make sure everything is accurate before you make payments. And after payment is done, you get to see where you can get this document. Let's say, for instance, you're shipping clothing items to the US and you pick FedEx as a carrier. You get to see the regulatory document after your invoice and review. You see the regulatory document. That's when you download it, you get to see the document that is required. So let's say, for instance, you're shipping clothing items, shoe, sunglasses and whatnot. All of those documents will appear here. You see up to 5 regulatory documents, then you can download them, fill them, attach them to your package, and then send to the carrier's facility. Thank you very much for your time. In the absence of no questions, we've come to the end of this session, and I hope we've learned 1 or 2 things on documentation and what document is needed when you're shipping via our network. Thank you so much for your time and have a pleasant afternoon.
Thank you.